Hi guys, welcome to today's video and welcome to another WWE reaction. This video is by Tap Out Corner and the video is called 15 Minutes of WWE Facts.
Why do wrestlers sometimes place their hands on their opponent's butt? The term for this is checking the oil, or simply an oil check. It's a
What does
joke
that
only
mean?
old school wrestlers would do during a match. Andre the Giant was famous for checking the oil on many of the men who fought him. WWE facts that don't seem real. Kelly Kelly, who's 37 in 2024, is younger than Charlotte Flair, who is 38. Jeff Hardy has never won a
Oh my god, really? 37 is younger than 38? I mean, are you counting the same year or... But okay, that's a fact. I mean, it is a fact, but oh my god, she actually looks so much younger.
tables, ladders, and chairs match. Before Kane debuted in 1997,
Wait, what
Jeff
was
Hardy
that?
has never won a tables, ladders, and chairs match.
No.
Before Kane debuted in 1997, there was a wrestler in WCW also called Kane.
No.
Ironically, both Kanes would be associated with fire, as WCW's Kane was one half of the tag team Harlem Heat. Arn Anderson
Dude,
retired from
what?
his in-ring career before
Nobody
the age
noticed
of
that?
40. Jake the Snake never
This is
won
so
any
quick.
championships in WWE or WCW.
Oh,
The
that's
word for
not
dinner in
fair. The
Spanish
guy
is cena.
literally gave his life to wrestling. Like, not literally, but kind of literally, if you know what I mean.
So any
Wait.
championships in WWE or WCW, the word for dinner in Spanish is cena, so John Cena's name translates to John Dinner. Did you know that WWE wrestlers have to get permission before getting tattoos? This has led some wrestlers to find creative ways around this rule.
Oh.
Alexa Bliss had white ink tattoos done on her arm so that she could cover them up with makeup. When Rhea Ripley was new to WWE, she had tattoos added to her legs without getting permission. To avoid getting in trouble, Ripley wore long pants to cover them up. There's a secret perk that only world champion WWE wrestlers
That's a
get.
lot of
Once a
tattoos.
wrestler wins one of WWE's world championships, the company will always give him a first-class seat on a plane. And if the
That's why it's important to have the title, because you even get a better seat. Privilege.
class, the company will purchase 2 regular tickets so the world champ has an empty seat next to him. This perk does not extend to the Intercontinental, US, or less prestigious champions. Additionally, once a wrestler loses the world title, this perk goes away. Wrestlers who got rid of their WWE Hall of Fame ring. Superstar Billy Graham got upset when Vince McMahon said the WWE would never make a physical Hall of Fame and it only existed in his head. Graham responded by selling his Hall of Fame ring on eBay for $11,500. Abdullah the Butcher sold his Hall of Fame ring in 2023 because he was broke. The ring was put on eBay and listed at $20,000. In 2016, Sunny threw her Hall of Fame ring on eBay, saying that after 5 years, it was time for someone else to cherish it. The ring was later sold for over $5,000. What happened to Batista's head?
Man, that's like literally shitting on the Hall of Fame. Like, this is so bad. Like, some random dude with money has that, and it's not even hit. Like, why do you want to have that? Like, clearly it's not your accomplishment, then it's just a ring for you.
Have nose wrinkles on the animal's head, and while Batista hasn't publicly addressed it, there are 2 likely reasons. The first is from Batista's wrestling days. To bleed in WWE, wrestlers do what's called blading, which involves taking a small razor blade and cutting
I don't think
their
it's
head.
because of bleeding,
This can
because
lead
they're
to
like
scarring,
perfectly
and Batista
lined.
has been known for breaking the rules in order to bleed during matches. However, another possible reason for the wrinkles is cutis verticis gyrata, or bulldog scalp syndrome. It's a rare skin condition that causes a person's scalp to develop deep furrows and convoluted folds that resembles a bulldog's skin folds. There are 2 tapes in the WWE video library with a label that says...
my question is, does Batista still nowadays have those? Because like he lost so much weight, he doesn't use steroids anymore. So I have a feeling that maybe they're gone.
Never to be viewed, never. There are 2 tapes in the WWE video library with a label that says, never to be viewed, never to be erased. The first tape is from the infamous Over the Edge 1999 pay-per-view. During the event, wrestler Owen Hart was meant to be lowered from the arena ceiling into the ring. However, the harness snapped and he fell to his death. Fans watching at home didn't see the fall, but cameras captured the horrible incident. The first forbidden tape contains the raw footage of Owen Hart's fall. The second tape contains footage of another disturbing incident. During a 1999 SmackDown event, wrestlers Draws and D'Lo Brown fought in what was supposed to be a normal match. However, when D'Lo went for a running powerbomb, Draws landed on his head and neck. While Draws did survive, he was left paralyzed for the rest of his life. While the match wasn't broadcast live, cameras still recorded the entire thing, and the footage has been preserved on the second forbidden tape.
Oh my god. I guess like the reason it is forbidden because of law and the court, you know, I mean, a lot can happen if it goes into public and people can misuse it. Plus, it's not nice, it's so disrespectful to show someone's death like that.
Time, the poignant forbidden tape. WWE Facts that'll mess with your perception of time. The PG era, which has been going on for nearly 16 years, is now longer than the TV14 era, which lasted 11 years. In 2025, WWE will have been called WWE for the same amount of time the company was called WWF. 23 years. AJ Styles is the same age as John Cena, and both will turn 47 years old in 2024. Damian Priest, on the other hand, will be 42 years old in 2024.
No way! Damian 42?
The same year The Undertaker was born, 1965. However, Funk had his last match only 3 years before Undertaker had his final match. Here's what WWE is like in different countries. During certain WWE broadcasts in the United Kingdom, a person would appear on screen to communicate in sign language for viewers who are hearing impaired. In India, WWE would re-edit their shows so that the Great Khali's match would be in the main event. In Italy, some WWE shows were edited to be less violent, and if a match had blood, the entire section might be removed.
What the hell with Italy footage? They just pause it like that? What's the point? It's like... Huh? Like the best parts are removed. Oh wow, okay, cool.
Edited to be less violent, and if a match had blood, the entire section might be removed. In the 1980s and 90s, WWE had a show called Superstars. However, it was renamed to Maple Leaf Wrestling in Canada.
Welcome everyone to
Maple Leaf Wrestling.
The reason
Get
is
out.
that the Canadian government requires TV stations to broadcast a certain amount of Canadian content. Even though there was little to no Canadian content in WWE Superstars, simply calling the show Maple Leaf Wrestling was enough for the show to count towards the requirements.
Are you kidding me? Nationalism.
Seth Rollins almost passed out right before a match. At WrestleMania 35, Rollins was taking on Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Seth was rightfully amped up for the match, but it nearly led to him collapsing during his entrance.
Why?
But there's like a moment where I'm drifting kind of back to the center of the ramp, and I'm just glossed over because when you get so fired up, it's that feeling like when you've been laying down or sitting down for too long, and you stand.
Yeah, I know this feeling. I know this feeling because I used to play in an amateur theater, and there was one time that we had like 25 screenings. So I don't know which one was this, like the 15th or whatever. And I feel like that day I didn't eat enough. I didn't sleep enough, and I had to go in front of 600 people to perform. And I know how to hype myself up. Like, I am a person that can get so much energy, but for a really short time. And I was hyping myself up. And then when the moment came for me, like, I couldn't breathe. There were stars in front of my eyes. It was really hard. I managed somehow to do it, but I feel like the performance was so shitty at that point. I felt so bad about it. But somehow I managed to even walk, like tingling in my feet. Like, I'm moving, but I feel like in slow-mo. It's crazy how that happens.
Up and you get lightheaded. That's what I had, and it was to the point where you start kind of going whoa, whoa, whoa. And I recovered just in time to walk down the ramp.
WWE tricked you
to, like,
into thinking The
breathe
Rock was
slowly
taller
then.
than he actually is. During backstage interviews, The Rock always appeared taller than the person interviewing him,
Yeah.
even when he was standing next to a male interviewer like Jonathan Coachman. However, The Rock and Coachman would later appear on ESPN SportsCenter together, and it was clear that WWE had been deceiving fans for years, as Coachman was actually taller than The Rock. This is the most wholesome
Why
thing
did they
a
do
WWE
that,
wrestler did
then?
for a fellow wrestler. In real life,
Make him
Brock
look
Lesnar and
bigger.
Curtis Axel are friends. However, Lesnar was a much more popular wrestler than Axel. As such, Curtis didn't receive as many opportunities as Brock, and therefore didn't make as much money. To help fatten his friend's check, Brock Lesnar personally requested that Curtis Axel be included in an action figure pack alongside himself and Stone Cold Steve Austin. The request was fulfilled, and Curtis Axel got a nice payday thanks to his friend.
That's so
WWE
nice.
Facts staring you right in the eye.
John
John
is
Cena holds
staring
up 3
me.
fingers because of his catchphrase, hustle, loyalty, and respect. It's called the Fisherman Suplex
thank
because
you
the
for
wrestler
letting me
hooks their
know.
opponent's leg. Matt Hardy's nickname used to be V1, and his signature hand gesture makes the shape of a V and a 1. At
V1,
WrestleMania 19,
yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin wore the letters OMR on his vest. This stood for one more round because this would be Austin's
more
final match
round.
for nearly 2 decades. The reason it's called the figure 4 is because the opponent's legs make the shape of the number 4. Sami Zayn's Haluva kick got its name from saying hell of a kick really fast.
Hell of a kick, hell of a kick,
WWE
hell of a kick, hell of a
Championship
kick, hell of a
belts
kick.
that
Yeah,
only
I
appeared
love a kick,
one
hell of a-
time. In 2019, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan, competed in a title unification match. Their opponents were the Yolo County Tag Team
Rabbit.
Champs, who had red belts made of cardboard. Heavy Machinery ended up fighting and defeating the yellow tag champions,
For the
but the
cardboard?
belts never reappeared. Before Andre the Giant fought Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 3 for the WWE title, the company created a giant version of the WWE Championship. The belt was custom made
For
to fit
Giant.
Andre and had an
Oh
80-inch
my
girth.
God.
However, since Andre lost the match, the belt was not needed. After winning the Greatest Royal Rumble, Braun Strowman was not only gifted a giant trophy, but also a special championship belt.
Wow.
However, the belt was just a symbolic gesture, and Braun wouldn't ever defend it. What would happen
Really?
if a female
What's the
wrestler
point?
low-blowed another female wrestler?
It
We all-
reminds me of, now we have this Crown Jewel new belt, if you have seen it. It's disgusting, by the way, but it is so expensive. Like, it has like diamonds on it and a lot of gold. And the thing is that it's a belt that you win on Crown Jewel. Any champion will win it who holds a championship, heavyweight championship, world title. And are you gonna like defend that ever, or is it something that is just symbolic until next Crown Jewel? Like, I don't understand the point of that belt, but I have a feeling it's just gonna be symbolic, and then it's gonna reappear. Like, it's WWE will have it preserved. They're not gonna give it to the champion, of course, and then for the next year, the champions will have to fight for it again. So I don't know what's the point really of holding that title.
all know what would happen if a female wrestler low-blowed another female wrestler. We all know that when a male wrestler gets hit below the belt, it's an automatic disqualification.
Yeah.
However, what about female wrestlers?
I mean, it
well,
doesn't
after
hurt
decades
that
of mystery,
much.
we finally got an answer.
Okay. The face. Come
Why
on.
did WWE
Literally would not hurt almost at all. Like, maybe a bit, but not really.
Painted steel cage. In the 80s and 90s,
Unless, like, it
WWE
goes
used a
directly.
big blue cage, which was different from most wrestling companies at the time, which used cages made out of chain-linked panels. The reason WWE used the blue cage instead of the chain-linked was to make it easier for the fans to see the action. It also made it look more like a spectacle, but the big blue cage had some drawbacks. The
Why?
cage had no give, so if a wrestler was slammed into it, it could really hurt them. The
Oof,
cage was also harder to set
yeah.
up since it was so big and heavy. Eventually, in the late 90s,
That's the
WWE
best, the
ditched the
chain
big blue
one,
cage and started using chain-linked cages.
Chain-linked
This
is the
not only was
best.
safer for the wrestlers and easier for the production crew, but also helped make the wrestlers stand out while inside it.
Yeah.
WWE facts that will blow
True.
your mind. Vince McMahon's birth name is actually Vinnie Lupton. Sasha Banks is a 5-time
What?
Raw Women's Champion. However, Seth Rollins has had more successful Raw Women's title defenses than Sasha because of
What?
a mixed tag team match for both his title and
With
Becky
his
Lynch's
woman,
Raw on
yeah.
the line. Both
Okay.
Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels had their final WrestleMania match the same year, 2010. Kevin Nash won the WWE Championship once, but won the WCW World title 5 times. Despite that, Nash was WWE Champion for 268 more days
hate the
than he
milk
was WCW
residue.
Champion. The Rock defeated Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 18 in 2002 in what was a passing of the torch. However, after the match, Hogan has wrestled 8 more WWE matches than The Rock has. When Brock Lesnar made his WWE debut, his finisher was the F5. However, this was not Brock's first finishing move. Before
Oh.
debuting, Brock Lesnar was still experimenting with different moves
I mean,
to see
that's
what fit him
normal,
best.
come on.
This included Lesnar using a dropkick at one point.
Oof.
However, to finish off his opponents, Brock originally used a running power slam.
Why did he change it? That's good too.
WWE talent who tried out for a different position than the one they got. Samantha Irvine attended a wrestler tryout after Mark Henry took notice of her. While WWE didn't hire her to be a wrestler, they saw Samantha's
my
passion
God.
and offered her a job as a ring announcer.
No way, she
Alexa
wanted to be a
Bliss's first on-screen
wrestler.
role was as
That's
a ring
crazy.
announcer. However, after one show, she never returned to ring announcing and became a wrestler. Jessica Carr spent several years as an independent
I
wrestler
think her voice
before
is too
attending a
pitchy
WWE
for
tryout in
announcing.
2017. While there, William Regal asked her if she wanted to be a referee, to which Carr answered yes. Nick Aldis
Okay.
started out as a backstage producer for WWE, but then got promoted to SmackDown general manager. WWE Mandela
Nice.
Effects. Kurt Angle's submission finisher
Mandela.
was never called the angle lock.
I
It
hate
was
the
always
Mandela
just the
effects. It's
ankle
all
lock.
confusing.
That's it. Angle with the ankle lock. The ankle lock is locked in.
Ankle lock.
Despite its popularity, The Rock's custom Brahma Bull Championship belt never actually appeared on WWE TV. Sheamus, Hardcore Holly, and X-Pac never once held the Intercontinental Championship. Mr. Perfect's real name is Kurt Hennig,
Sheamus never?
except it's actually spelled like this with no N. Jim Ross said one of his most
Hennig.
famous lines when Kane debuted in 1997, only it wasn't actually Jim Ross who said it.
That's gotta be Kane. That's gotta be Kane.
What happened to John Cena's elbow? This is a condition called olecranon bursitis. What happens is a small fluid sac near the elbow called bursitis becomes irritated or inflamed and fills with extra fluid. For wrestlers, this often comes as a result of hitting the ring mat with their elbows repeatedly. Other wrestlers who have suffered from this include Sami Zayn and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Wrestling facts that are hilarious.
I never saw that before. It's so
Seth Rollins
disgusting.
was wrestling his final independent match before signing with WWE, and fans chanted "future jobber" at him.
Jobber? What does that mean? He's taking it like a champ.
Out with WWE, Batista tried to get signed by their rival, WCW. However, the WCW trainers turned him down and told Batista he would never make it in wrestling. Macho Man Randy Savage was forced to become a commentator because Vince McMahon thought he was too old to wrestle at age 41. In 2024, Damian Priest won the World Heavyweight Championship at the age of 41.
Yes, but 49. Wait. 41 today and 41 back then are two different generations, all right? Like, we now humans live longer, are healthier longer, and we look healthier longer, especially women with makeup and surgeries and Botox and whatnot. They can look 40 when they're actually 60. And if you have the money, you have the look then. And that's the thing, you know? So, I mean, performance-wise as well, could be because we live healthier, we are more educated about healthy food, healthy lifestyle. If you follow that, you could live healthier and longer.
Agreed to train a wrestler. Priest won the World Heavyweight Championship at the age of 41. Fritz von Erich agreed to train a wrestler named Mark Calloway because he reminded Fritz of Fritz's dead son, David. Mark Calloway would eventually become an undead wrestler named The Undertaker. In the mid-90s, Too Cold Scorpio and Road Warrior Hawk got into a real fight and became enemies. It got so bad that Scorpio was planning on killing Hawk, but another wrestler talked Scorpio out of it. The wrestler that talked Too Cold out of killing Hawk was Chris Benoit. This watch...
What? So he managed to talk someone out of it, but he himself went on and did the worst? What did he tell him? He should have recorded himself and put it on repeat before whatever he did. How? And I feel like actually, maybe psychologically it makes sense because Benoit would understand him the most and would know what he was feeling. And that's why he related to him and managed to talk him out of it. But that makes me think then maybe Benoit was considering these feelings himself and thinking these thoughts and had these ideas before as well. So it could be a premeditated thing and not something that just happened. Oh, they should take that. They should take that as an evidence. Man.
The wrestler that talked Too Cold out of killing Hawk was Chris Benoit. This watch made Cody Rhodes burst into tears. When he was a teenager, Cody Rhodes wanted to attend acting school. Cody's father, Dusty Rhodes, didn't have much money, so he sold his watch in order for his son to pursue his dream. Almost 20 years later, Cody Rhodes won the main event of WrestleMania and became the undisputed.
This stupid ad blocker. I'm gonna delete it. Not even blocking.
So he sold his watch in order for his son to pursue his dream. Almost 20 years later, Cody Rhodes won the main event of WrestleMania and became the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. After the show, Triple H and Nick Khan gave the new champ a special gift. The gift was the watch Cody's late father had given him 2 decades ago. The tears flowing from Cody's eyes show just how much it meant to him. Wrestlers fight for belts when most of them don't even have pants. WWE shower thoughts. Sheamus is the only one with normal skin, and everyone else is just super tan. No disqualification matches.
Honestly, that's how it feels like
sometimes. One of the
sometimes.
wrestlers just brought a gun. Kane could have won a lot more matches if he just summoned his pyro when his opponent was on the top rope. Why don't WWE referees ask to see a replay
we don't
when
wanna
a
kill
wrestler
people.
accuses their opponent of cheating? WWE video games are considered an esport, but WWE in real life is considered entertainment. R-Truth has had more championship wins than any wrestler in WWE history. Why don't wrestlers just stop running when they get whipped into the ropes?
For real?
Michael Cole has fewer WrestleMania losses than The Undertaker. Who is allowed to use WWE's private jet? Most WWE wrestlers and personnel will use commercial flights that are open to the public. Sometimes, like when WWE is doing an overseas tour, the company will hire a charter plane to transport everyone. WWE's private jet is mainly reserved for high-ranking executives, like Triple H. One of the reasons is that the plane includes office space so passengers can work while flying. A few rare times, wrestlers have been allowed to fly in the private jet.
Imagine how much you have to work, that you even have to fill the time while in air to work. Like, that just shows you it's not easy, especially office and paper, like everything that goes behind the scene.
After winning the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 31, Seth Rollins flew in the jet to make media appearances the next day. Roman Reigns and Charlotte Flair likewise have used the plane for similar reasons. If you feel cheap, then watch this. In 2008, WWE hosted the Night of Champions pay-per-view. The gimmick for the show was that every championship was defended. Keeping with the theme, the set had banners with pictures of the WWE titles. However, for the ECW Championship, rather than using a picture of the actual belt, WWE just wrote ECW World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion over a picture of the defunct Cruiserweight Championship. What is WWE's stock price again?
Oh,
In 2004,
no.
Triple H went from looking like this to looking like this. What happened? Allegedly, the game, like a lot of WWE wrestlers, was using steroids to give himself an amazing physique. However, there was a period of time when he stopped using them, which is why he looked like this. Triple H did eventually regain his original body, so why did he briefly stop using steroids? At the time, the game and his wife, Stephanie McMahon, wanted a child. Steroids disrupt a man's hormonal balance and reduce sperm production, making it harder to have a baby. People speculate this is the reason for Triple H's body change. WWE has long been accused of prioritizing wrestlers' physiques over other talented skills. Critics argue this is why so many of WWE's biggest stars have amazing bodies. Of course, the company likes pushing talent with good physiques, but there's more to it. A good body takes a lot of hard work and sacrifice to achieve and maintain. Being a top star for WWE...
See, like, I literally learned one thing about steroids that I didn't know. I learned, like, yesterday, I think, or this morning. Basically, steroids are... They make the muscle work faster and the recovery time faster. So you still have to put the work in order to get those muscles, but the cut time for recovery and the cut time for results is what steroids do. And that's why a lot of wrestlers do use them, because they are under time pressure as well, and they want to get those. Without them, it's almost impossible to get those results. Like, maybe it is, but almost impossible. Like, it's really, really difficult.
Hard work and sacrifice, as wrestlers have to deal with pain, stress, and spend time away from their homes and family. Maintaining a good physique shows that a wrestler has the determination required to be a main event WWE star.
True.
This is the saddest sign ever brought.
But come on, if that was like your job, your only job is to appear in the gym and do like workouts, like, I mean, it is hard. It is definitely hard. But if that's the only thing you have to do, of course you're gonna do it.
Show. In 2014, The Undertaker was set to have his 22nd match at WrestleMania. His opponent that night was Brock Lesnar. And while Brock was a formidable opponent, fans were pretty confident that Undertaker would win and continue his undefeated streak. In one of the biggest upsets in WWE history, Lesnar won, ending Undertaker's WrestleMania streak, which is now 21-1.
It's explained in
After
the
show, a sign was found outside the arena that said 22-0.
I mean, maybe that's someone who made that sign who believed that is gonna happen. Like, come on. Let's see about Benoit. I feel like somebody wrote it. Damn, Roman got lucky. What, 1,000 plus days of first class seats? Yeah, exactly. The fact that Jeff Hardy never won a TLC match despite him being associated or make a career out of it is wild. It is insane. I literally associate him immediately with tables and chairs and ladders, especially ladders. Alexis White ink tats are actually quite lovely, and I wish more women would use them. I think the white ink looks nice because it's not very visible from far. But also I think the technique is just burning the skin, and that's painful, like marking someone. Seth Rollins having more successful Raw Women's title defenses than Sasha Banks is wild. And the fact that there's someone else who has less losses than The Undertaker, wild. But yeah, that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to react to a video that you really enjoy. Write react and then the title of the video, or from whom it is made as well, if you want to go with the extra info and help me out. But But that is it. Thank you so much. I'll give you a shout out if I choose your video in the next one. Check out my Patreon for more WWE reactions. I do all recaps, NXT, SmackDown, and Raw once they are out. I also react to the main events there, documentaries and stuff that are not allowed on YouTube or copyrighted. Everything is there on my Patreon, patreon.com/supportbunny. Have a wonderful day. See you next time. Bye.